Good afternoon, great Duke scholars and Miami scholars of the fifth grade. It's with pleasure to be talking to you today. Today's date on the top line of your notebook. You should be writing on your right hand side of your notebook today. Today's date is September the 9th, 2015. Today's objective is I can explain how shadows are formed. Now, students, I want you to hit pause, and write down the objective. I can explain how shadows are formed. That should be two spaces down on your notebook, your objective. All right. When you're ready, you can hit play again. Okay, there are three different types of ways you can look at a shadow. Um, these three different types are opaque, translucent, and transparent. Opaque do not let any light pass through them. They block the light, wood, brick, or metal. So we're looking at light and shadows today. We're looking at the different types of way we can have light come through it. And opaque, remember students, do not let any light through them. So an example is wood, brick, metal. And our human bodies are actually another example, great example of opaque objects. Translucent. Translucents let some light through, but they scatter the light in all directions so that you cannot see clearly through them. Example of a translucent light is what I have on an anchor chart for you Duke scholars is if you crumbled up paper, will light go through it, straight through it? No, not from what I recall. And transparent is our last one. Transparent is lets light pass through them in straight lines so that you can see clearly through them. Opaque objects make dark shadows. Transparent is transparent. A good example, if you're looking out at your window in your classroom today, that's an opaque object. It lets light straight through it. So your practice for today. And students, I'm gonna go back one page and show you those notes that you should have written inside your notebook by now. Make sure you press pause when you need be and write these notes down in your notebook. Your practice. Match your objects to its description. Okay, A, we see a window with sunlight on the outside. On B, we see a tree and the sun is beaming down on it. And C, we see it looked like a cloth, a dark piece of cloth, and a flashlight flashing, trying to flash through. So I want you to number 1, 2, 3. And I want you to number it the same way I have on my PowerPoint. 1, 2, 3. Opaque is number 1. 2 is transparent. 3 is translucent. I want you to match each object with its letter. Pencils up. Hard at work. Go. When you're ready, I want you to press pause first. And when you're ready, go ahead, press play. Shadows. Shadows are made when an object blocks light. The object must be opaque or translucent to make a shadow. A transparent object will not make any shadow, as light will go straight through it. I want you to write that down in your notebooks as well. Remember, pencils are up, hard at work. Practice. So this is a good time for you to write this question down for your science benchmark. This might be a question on your benchmark or something similar to it. We don't put copycats. We're not copycats here, so we won't cheat and let you have all the questions. But we will give you a similar question that might be on your benchmark. So I will put a star by this question. Which of the following will not cast a shadow? A tree. B, a car window. C, a banana. D, a hairbrush. Which of the following will not cast a shadow? I'm going to reveal the answer later on in this presentation. Position is everything, guys. Position is everything. Size and shape of shadows are affected by the position of the light source. The shadow appears on the side of the object furthest from the light source. Today, students, you will read and watch a video about how the sun and the shadow affects every time the sun comes out. It's sunrise at 12 noon. Is something happening to your shadow, and also when the sun sets, something's happening to your shadow as well. Shadows and light source. If an object is moved closer to the light source, the shadow gets bigger. And if an object is moved further away from the light source, the shadow gets smaller. Pencils up, hard at work. Make sure you're taking notes right now. Now, something I want you guys to remember for, and I want you to pause the video before I get to the next step, and I want you to write these notes down so I can tell you the next thing that we'll be doing. Now, students, I want you to know this. July the 21st, it just came around. And on July the 21st, it's supposed to be the hottest day. You know why? Because the sun is furthest away and it casts the smallest amount of shadows. So, like the shadows and light source notes say, an object is moved closer to light source, the shadow gets bigger. So, when the sun gets closer to the earth, shadows get bigger. That's why you have more dark time during the winter. And my time for my coldest, it's supposed to be the coldest time, is going to be Mr. Go want to be correct. I think I had the notes down. It's on December the 21st. It's supposed to is when the sun is closest to the earth. So fun fact, you can go tell your parents. July 21st, the sun is furthest away from the earth, and that's why it's so hot on July the 21st, and the day is so long. And December the 21st is when you have the sun, which is closest to the earth, which casts the shortest day. Practice. Dr. Foley wants to make her shadow grow. She should A, move closer to her light source. B, move away from a light source. C, add more light to the room. Or D, take light away. I'm going to reveal the answer after the next PowerPoint slide. Shadows in the sun. The sun makes the longest shadows at the beginning and end of the day when the sun is lowest in the sky. The sun casts the shortest shadow at noon when the sun is highest in the sky. So you saw these are very vital notes that you need to remember for your benchmark on Friday or Monday. I think it's Monday. The sun makes the longest shadows at the beginning and end of the day when the sun is lowest in the sky. Just like on December the 21st, when it's closest to the earth, it casts the longest shadow and the shortest day because the dark spell comes onto it so quickly. And the sun casts the shortest shadows at noon when the sun is highest in the sky, which is on July the 21st. Make sure you're taking notes. You can pause this video as you need. Now, the answer to this practice question on Dr. Foley wants to make a shadow grow, she should move closer to a light source, move away from a light source, C, add more light to the room, or D, take light away. If Dr. Foley wants her shadow to grow, she should move closer to the light source. If I move away, my shadow will eventually minimize. And if I move closer, my shadow will maximize. I want you to write that down. Closer, when I move closer to a light source, my shadow maximize. When I move away from the light source, my shadow minimize.